Subscribe and click the bell icon for the latest updates from Express Drives.
In my last video, I told you how the TVS Apache RTR 164V turned out to be a great companion for us and why it's a hot favorite in the 160cc street fighter segment. Developed with inputs from TVS Racing, the bike has managed to outshine almost its every rival when it comes to the overall performance.
Very well said, crisp, to the point. But when we're talking about entry-level street fighters, there is one bike that you simply cannot ignore. That one.
So is this what you're pitting against the RTR 164V?
Yep, exactly. The FZS and the RTR 160 have both been playing the entry-level street fighter game for quite some time now. The two of them have a boy racer appeal, but when it comes to actually buy one, which one should you go for?
Well, so let's get on to see if Abhilasha's bet on the FZ turns out well or the Apache here maintains its dominance. I have always loved the way how the RTR 164V looks, and one major reason behind is that it borrows its design and styling cues from its elder sibling, the RTR 200, which in itself is a very good looking motorcycle. Moreover, the RTR 160 here looks very fresh, unlike your FZS, which comes across as more or less the same bike that was launched a decade ago.
Well, I do agree the RTR 160 is a good looking motorcycle, but then the FZ also has its own appeal going on for itself. Well, it may be a design that they've been carrying on for years, but then it's a tried and tested design. People seem to like it, so why change it? And on top of that, I think it looks kind of big for a 150cc motorcycle thanks to these air vents at the sides of the fuel tank.
Oh, air vents, really? What do they actually do, by the way?
Alright, they don't really have to do anything. It's a design feature and it looks good. And well, it also has an LED headlamp, which the RTR doesn't.
Yes, I agree to that. The RTR may not have an LED headlamp, but I'm pretty sure TVS will roll out an update for it in the coming months.
Moving the argument over to the instrument cluster. Surely the RTR 160 has a much more informative digital instrument cluster. However, the one on the FZS is also fully digital and has all the necessary details like a fuel gauge and 2 trip meters. I would say that having more of something isn't always a good thing.
Well, I disagree to that. More features are always welcome, and the RTR 160 comes with segment first lap timer and several other features as well. Overall, it's a sports oriented motorcycle and its instrument cluster certainly adds to the appeal.
The FZS has a smaller displacement engine and so a slightly smaller power figure as well. But the difference is negligible and doesn't reflect on the throttle very much. Our drag race revealed that the RTR is quicker and faster. However, I have no complaints that the FZS isn't as sprightly given the segment and the price bracket.
The 159cc single-cylinder oil-cooled engine on the Apache RTR 164V is an absolute gem. It not only offers a segment-best power output, but also feels super smooth across the rev range. The biggest highlight of this engine is that not only it has a solid low and mid-range, but the power doesn't taper off towards the top end either. There are lesser vibrations on the Apache compared to the Yamaha FZS, which does adds to the riding experience. Now coming to the fuel efficiency part, we'll have to give it to the FZS, which promises about 45 to 50 kilometers to a liter and comes with a 12.8 liter fuel tank. On the other hand, the RTR 160's 42 to 45 kilometers to a liter with a 12 liter fuel tank makes for a slightly smaller riding range compared to the FZS.
Now that we're talking about a sportier ride, well, realistically speaking, within city riding, I want more comfort from a motorcycle. You know, I'm sitting upright, my back is up, my foot pegs are not very rear set. So I think I'll pick comfort over sporty riding. What do you think?
Well, completely agree to that. But the riding position on the RTR may be on a slightly sportier side, but that's only for the sake of letting you enjoy the ride. And it's not demanding enough that it will get you uncomfortable on a day-to-day basis, and hence you're completely relaxed on this motorcycle despite being a slightly sportier riding position.
At straight line speeds, the FZS has it going better in terms of stability, but speaking of the gearbox, the RTR 160 promises smoother gear shifts.
The RTR 160 promises sportier handling and instills more confidence while leaning into corners. However, the FZS with its slightly shorter wheelbase is nippier to filter through traffic. The turning radius on the RTR 160 is a bit larger than the FZS and is noticeable, although it isn't really a complaint.
I think the braking on both the motorcycles is on point, but with a slightly larger disc up front on the FZS, it offers better bite. Add to that, the FZS is also lighter than the RTR 160 by 7 kilograms and comes with a larger 140 section tire at the rear. Overall, the FZS, with a softer suspension setup compared to the RTR 160, offers a plusher ride, but then a slightly stiffer setup on the RTR 160 means it is quick to switch directions.
We have compared both these motorcycles in multiple aspects, and now to sum it up, let's see which bike emerges as the overall winner in this comparison, starting with the design.
Well, in terms of design, I think I'll give the point to Yamaha FZS. I really like what I'm looking at. What about you?
Okay, but I will stick to the RTR 160. It appeals to me more. But well, design being a subjective matter, we leave it upon our audience to decide which bike looks better.
And now moving over to engine performance. And I have ridden the RTR 160 and you've ridden the FZS. I suppose we both agreed that the RTR delivers on better engine refinement and the gear shifts are smoother as well.
Yeah, that's right. The RTR is a clear winner in this one.
However, if we're talking about ride dynamics and how comfortable the motorcycles are, I give the point to the FZS.
Yes, agree to that. Your FZ may be a more comfortable motorcycle than the RTR, but there is a set of audience that prefer sportier motorcycles, and the RTR caters exactly to those people.
So I suppose I can see where this argument is going. The RTR might be...
I have a bonus point here. While we completely understand the fact that technology wants us to move ahead and don't want us to move backwards, should the battery of your bike troubles you in any case, you don't have a Kickstarter, which the RTR has. The RTR 164V is available in two variants, the carbureted and the fuel injected. The carbureted version of this bike is almost rupees 5,000 cheaper than the FZS Fi, and if you go for the fuel injected version of this one, well, you will have to spend 1,000 rupees more. So the final verdict is out. We have a clear winner, but I would like to hear it from you.
So yes, the RTR 164V clearly takes this one hands down. It offers better refinement, it's better value for money, and it's faster. Until next time, thank you very much for watching.
I have always loved the way...
I didn't know we were trolling. Yes, exactly, the FZ... Why am I introducing it again?
And why it's a hot favorite in the 160cc.
Mic check, 1, 2, mic check.